Hello, guys. This is my review of Balto. Now, remember, this opinion is not yours, and it doesn't have to be. If you have a different opinion than me, then that's great. It's great to see people have other opinions than I do. But with that said, let's get on to the show. The story. The story of Balto is loosely based on the trek in 1925 to get antitoxins from one part of Alaska to another. It's an obvious underdog story, and Balto follows many of the same guidelines as such. Everyone discriminates against him because he's part wolf, but then everyone loves him in the end. But what makes the story good is the pure emotion and tension of getting the antitoxins back to the sick kids. We get to see many times in the movie the sick kids, so we can get an idea of how important Balto's mission is. Also, we get to see Balto being depressed, and the movie spends time on how he feels being alone. Mostly. Also, the pure action of all the obstacles Balto faces, like the stalactites and bear, shows how dangerous the trek is, while also providing us with more Balto's character. The humor is somewhat distracting, though. Some of it is good, like the things like from Lewis, but other comedy bits go on too long and don't serve a purpose to the main plot. But while some parts of the plot are a little wonky, it provides an action-packed trek through Alaska's toughest regions. The animation. The animation is killer. The town where the story starts out is atmospheric and brings us a great look at Alaska in the 1920s. Nothing looks out of place. The backgrounds look great and provide a more realistic look to polar ice caps and snow. We also get to see a beautiful sky both at daytime and at night, the polar ice caps adding a nice touch. The character movement is more overactive for the comedy side characters and more smooth for the main ones. The animators made sure every character moves like they should, especially with the dogs. The only flaw is with the character design. The main characters look fine, but the side ones look way too goofy. And some characters like the polar bears don't look anything like the animal they are supposed to portray. But overall, the animation sets the stage for an exciting tale. The characters. Balto is the underdog that uses his wit to let nothing get him down. He can be cocky, but he knows when stuff is serious, and he has a good heart. Through all the hardships he faces, he is still determined to save the children. Gina is Balto's love interest, who is shown off in the scenes as very caring of her owner, and Balto and her share a lot of on-screen chemistry. So you feel their love. She even tries to join Balto on his quest, showing that she isn't useless. Steel is the villain who tries to stop Balto from getting Gina, and from getting the antitoxins back to the sick children. He is somewhat generic, but he is very clever in the ways he tries to stop Balto in achieving his goals, and he is very menacing. Lewis is Balto's goose friend, who's funny and tells off Balto, but secretly cares for him like a son. The other characters are there for comic relief, but they are important in helping Balto complete his quest, and even help him from time to time. Save him from time to time. But these characters may seem boring on paper, but they are the exact opposite. Overall, while some people might say Balto is overrated and that it doesn't follow any of what really happened, it still has marvelous animation, great characters, and a gripping story with lots of suspense and emotional heartbreak thrown throughout. It's a shame that LucasArts shut down after this, or like their animation studio did at least, because they had real potential. But I'm glad that the animators moved on to DreamWorks, because they deserve to, and they went on to bigger and better things in the future. But as this is a great movie on its own. So overall, I would give my story an 8 out of 10, the animation a 9 out of 10, and the characters a 10 out of 10, with a score of 9 out of 10 with 2 stars. This movie is really good and is a must-watch to any animation fan. So that was my review on Balto. This is Sceptile 456, signing out.